Welcome to my podcast. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you what. I am the actual queen of procrastination. First of all, I have to hold this microphone because I need an Allen wrench and I'm in the middle of Mexico and I know I could get one. But first of all, how do you even say that in Spanish? I mean, I'm fluent. I'm surviving here just fine. But Allen wrench, the other day I went to a doctor's appointment and it was like the OBGYN because medical care in the United States is total garbage. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, I think we know that, but once you've experienced it in another country, you just realize how much worse it really is. Anywho, I'm at the doctor's office and I'm trying to explain to her the situation that I have, and I'm trying to avoid getting into a lawsuit with the doctors in the United States. Anywho, it's a whole big thing, but I'm like, I don't even know this vocabulary. Who learns that kind of vocabulary? An Allen wrench is another one of those things that I don't know. So, my goodness. So I'm holding this stupid mic. It should stay up on its own, but watch. Yeah, totally worthless. Okay, but you're just going to have to make do with what you have. Let me tell you, I am the queen of excuses. I will make excuses. Have you ever, let me show my window. God, I love it here. I love it here. Listen, I need to get into a lot more my thoughts. Here's what's happening. I have so many thoughts. I have so many ideas. I have so many things that I want to do. I have so many things that I know that God has told me to do. And I'm like, God, tell me what order. What order do you want me to do it in? Because I feel overwhelmed. And with the ADHD, I literally can't focus and I struggle to get started. And I'm also a perfectionist. And I'm like, my goodness, the amount of procrastination that I'm doing is just... It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I have had this. I just posted a video about this stinking backdrop. You know how long? It's been a week. It's been almost a week that this has been up. Everything's been set up, ready for me to go. And I have made excuses. I have procrastinated. I've distracted myself. And I'm honestly sick of doing it. And I think that part of the reason that I do it is because, honestly, first of all, I have 5 other podcasts, but they're just voice recordings. And unfortunately, I have realized and learned and understood that for some reason, people don't listen to what I have to say if you're not looking at my face. Why is that? That's annoying. The words that I'm saying are equally important just because you can't see something. And a podcast, are you supposed to be just listening anyways? I don't know. So I'm debating and I'm asking God, honestly, if I need to go back through and edit those because, first of all, they feel all over the place. I know that this is starting all over the place. Look, it's just gonna have to be all over the place until I either get on ADHD medication or until God heals my brain from not being able to think in the straight line. When I sit down to do podcasts, I literally have no plan. I just feel like God is pushing me to sit down and start talking. Today, how this one started is because I'm literally praying and asking God, God, what do you want me to do? I have felt, honestly, it's embarrassing. I'm just gonna put it all on the table because what do I have to have? If God, the creator of the universe, sees my heart, knows my actions, knows my thoughts, why am I afraid to tell you? I shouldn't be. Maybe it'll make me more relatable. Maybe it will encourage you in some way. Oh my God, I'm not even plugged in. You see, and this is part of why I procrastinate, because I freaking hate technology. I don't even know if this mic is doing any difference. What was I saying? I was saying that literally since Sunday to be fair, because Friday I went dancing. Let me tell you, I'm going to get into it because I cannot help but talk about dancing in Mexico, salsa. Oh, I am addicted. I am addicted. I have an actual problem. And honestly, nobody warns you about that when you come to Mexico. No, everybody wants to talk about the dangers of Mexico. Nobody warns you of what you can actually get addicted to here. For me, that's salsa dancing and tacos al pastor. So help me, if I don't get salsa dancing and tacos literally every day, I feel like my soul is dying, okay? It's a problem. Also, though, the last time I was here for 3 weeks, literally that's all that I did. I walked quite a bit because obviously I wanted to explore. I salsa danced until very late. And then I would be eating tacos at 3, 4 in the morning. I lost 10 pounds. 10 pounds in 3 weeks. It's been bonkers. Here, this time, so far, I've been here for about the same amount of time. I have not danced nearly as much. And I have not eaten quite as many tacos, but I'm still losing weight. This time I'm going to the gym because unfortunately I feel like God is telling me your body is a temple, girl. Get it in check. And also there's like things to come, like the whole end of the world situation. It's not funny. It's not funny, but I do feel that I need to physically prepare for whatever is coming. Like everybody's worried about storing up food. I feel like God is telling me, girl, you better get some muscles and get your endurance up. It's going to serve you right now for this whole salsa fixation that you have right now. But really, really in the end times, listen, I don't know. I just know that God is leading me to have better habits, and I hate the gym. Until when I came to Mexico, I was like, I'm going to focus on my ministry. I consider this my ministry. Do I want it to be? No. I don't want to do a podcast. I don't want to do a TikTok. But ironically, even as I'm saying it right now, like even I remember when I went to Brazil as a missionary, like I didn't want to do that either. I didn't want to be a missionary, first of all. And then once I finally like came to terms with that, I did not want to go to Brazil because I didn't speak Portuguese at the time. I spoke Spanish. So what logical sense did it make for me to go to Brazil? Why? There are how many Spanish-speaking countries? Why wouldn't God send me there? Anywho, I feel like I'm in that same situation where I'm like, God, I don't want to do this. I literally hate this. And it's ironic because, good grief, I can talk I literally could talk to this beautiful wall behind me for an hour. I mean, I'm talking into the camera and I don't even know if anybody's going to listen. I feel like the only people that listen to me are my enemies. Let me clarify because I think there are a few people that consider themselves my enemies, or they think that I'm calling them my enemies when I post about them, and I'm not. Okay, let me clarify. The enemies, let me tell you, those of you who did witchcraft on me, Enrico Suave. And then, of course, like anybody else who just like hates me for no apparent reason, or like whatever, or I don't know, whatever weird thing you have going on, people hate for no reason. That's between you and God. But I think that also a lot of people that I used to know or used to be friends with or used to go to church with think that I'm calling them my enemies. Let me be very clear. I'm not talking about y'all. But I feel like only my enemies and people who are afraid of what I might say out loud are the only people who are listening. That also makes it very hard for me to continue doing this because I'm like, I don't really want to talk to y'all anymore, if I'm honest with you. If you're my enemies, like, God bless you, and may you find him, and may you keep watching every single little thing that I do and know that my God is real, because I already know that the santeria, brujeria that you did on me didn't work. Obviously, I'm still here. And whatever else that you're doing, and you might see me go through down bad times, but that's fine because I'm walking with God. And no matter what I go through, God is the one who supports and sustains me, gives me opportunities. And no, even if I'm clinging for dear literal life, it doesn't matter because I know who has my back. I know who I serve. And I just hope that through everything that I do, and I've said it before and I will continue to repeat it until I actually am not here anymore, I hope that through my life, you will truly, truly see who the real God is. And I just pray for that for you. Anywho, this whole podcast TikTok situation is is similar to Brazil. When I was in high school, I dedicated my life to God, and I was like, God, whatever you want me to do. Okay, well, I didn't realize that was going to involve like me going to the mission field, and I definitely didn't know that was going to involve putting my face on the internet and speaking the thoughts that go through my head. Like, you should think it through before you sign up to walk with God. No, don't. Honestly, it's been such a huge blessing. I have literally been 2 years, no stable income, but God has covered every single one of my needs. I mean, it's been bonkers. And I'm in Mexico right now. And if you know me personally, you know that I am Mexicana de corazón, and I don't really care who that makes mad, because according to that Costa Rican lady, los mexicanos nacemos donde nos da la gana. Okay, so así soy yo. Oh my gosh, I just got a hear of this mic, and I think it's sounding muffled. Let me hold it away from my mouth. Why God is giving me the opportunity to be in Mexico right now, I don't feel deserving. I don't know what his plan is, if I'm honest with you, except for the fact that maybe I kind of feel like this is like a low-key retreat with God that I'm on right now, so I can focus, because in my house, there's been a lot of trauma. You've listened to season 1 of this podcast. I've been through a lot, and honestly, I have prayed and I have blessed the house and everything like that, but trauma is real, okay? Let's, in the Christian world, stop acting like trauma isn't real. And yes, God is powerful, and God has, oh my goodness, heals me so fast that even my therapist is like, this is weird. And I'm like, girl, this is God. And she's like, maybe it's the universe. I'm like, girl, no, it's God. Why does everybody believe in every single thing except for God? I don't know. But anywho, God has really healed me, but I have learned and I realized, and my house, I am so thankful for it. It's a beautiful home. I've had it for a very long time. Like, I'm so thankful and I'm so blessed, but honest to goodness, there's so much trauma in there. I can't focus. I literally cannot focus. I can't focus. I can't be motivated. Like, I don't want to be in there. It's been very difficult. And anywho, I'm like, okay, should I move? Should I do what? I don't know. Anywho, long story short, and a lot of details and a lot of prayer and a lot of talking to God, I felt like God was leading me to come back to Mexico. And I'm like, that doesn't really make any sense, especially because I just lost my job for speaking. I have lost almost every job ever because I speak up for what's right. And if the enemy thinks that that's ever going to stop me from saying the truth, or for standing up for what's right, or defending those who can't defend themselves, or seeking justice, or whatever the case is, I will never stop. I will continue to be unemployed and working on God's time clock. Also, that's why, like, this whole procrastination thing is so bad, because I know that God is telling me to work for him. And if I really feel that this is what God is calling me to do, like, are you kidding me? This is the easiest job on the planet. If God is really going to provide my needs, like, I'm an idiot. You're telling me that God is telling me to be in Mexico, number one, or literally I could be anywhere in the planet and just put up a backdrop and start yapping. If that's what God has for me, like, why am I an idiot? Because the devil is a freaking punk. And man, procrastination is real. Anywho, so it's trauma. And I felt that I really needed to get out of my house. And I felt like I needed to come back to Mexico. And I'm like, that's really weird. That doesn't make any sense. I don't have the means to go to Mexico. And it's weird because everybody thinks that Mexico is so cheap. No, it's not. No, it is not. At least not in Mexico City. Maybe if you're near like a little town, a little Puebla. But no. In Mexico City, it's very expensive. The food, if I'm honest with you, I feel like most of the times I'm paying more than I would pay in the U.S. Though, if I'm honest, last night I hit the jackpot. I'm going to talk about it more. I need to make notes as I'm talking, so I remember where my rabbit trails are. I'll just come back to them in the next podcast. I'll listen back and I'll make notes of things that I don't finish, and then you can listen in episode 2, because honestly, this is how my brain works. And I realize that a lot of times when I'm trying to focus on what I'm saying, I lose the point of I overthink. I overthink a lot. I definitely am losing the point regardless. But I found last night, and I've had it before, but I found one really close to where I'm staying. It's called comida corrida. That means like fast food, like literally. But it's not U.S. fast food. It is a full-blown meal. Let me tell you, first of all, I started with like homemade chicken noodle vegetable soup. It had like potatoes and vegetables and chicken and broth, and it was a bowl. I mean, honest to goodness, it was like this big. It was huge. It also came with like some tostadas, basically like chips and salsa, but the salsa was like a brownish, greenish, tannish. If you think that red salsa is hot, I mean, that was like, I don't know what was in that. That was the hottest, and I for a split second forgot that I was in Mexico, and I put a lot on there, and I was dying. It also came with like a fresh berry drink. It was almost like a tea, but made with berry. My mouth was watering. It was delicious. And it was warm, actually. And it was really cold out last night. Oh my goodness. It was so good. Also rice, beans. And then they bring you a plate. I mean, the plate honestly was huge, of chicken. And it's like, I didn't even know how to describe it to you. My mouth is watering again. Like it's like a chicken breast. It wasn't like a chicken breast. I don't know. It was better than a chicken breast. It had some bones in it. I don't know what piece of the chicken, but it was delicious. And it was like covered in this kind of like light red sauce with corn and green beans and peas. And I didn't eat the vegetables because I already had enough vegetables in the soup. I'm still a child. But it was like the most delicious thing. And some of the corrida places that you go, they will even give you a dessert at the end. I mean, they just keep bringing food. That was cheap. That is like the first one that I found that was cheap. It was like $7 for all of that. Normally though, it's very, very expensive here. And also I get the gringa markup. They definitely raise the prices on me. Like you go somewhere and then you think that the price is going to be good, or they don't have a thing. If there's no other customers around for you to hear, or for them to say it out loud in front of another customer, you're definitely getting the gringa markup. And I really hate that. But it's okay. God is going to provide, and God is providing. And so I'm just here. And that's why I'm saying, like, I felt that I needed to come to Mexico, and I was praying about it. And I honestly felt like God gave me a specific date to come, which was really weird and really earlier than I was thinking. But you don't have to tell me twice to spend more time in Mexico. So I came, and then it ended up being like the biggest, fattest blessing, because I was here for Day of the Dead, which is literally like a bucket list item of mine. And I'll talk later, I guess, maybe about the spiritual thing about Day of the Dead. Obviously, I don't agree with it, but culturally, like, who doesn't want to be here for that? Who doesn't want to see that? It was really, really cool. And I just felt like God, that was honestly the start of so many blessings that God has given me since I've been here. If I started to tell you the experiences that I have had, and honestly, to like the average person, they would probably look at that and be like, that's what you're crying over? That's the dream of your heart? I'd be like in the most dirty, let me tell you, you cannot top, only God can top this experience that I have. And if this gets topped, I'm going to lose my mind. Let me just describe it to you. I'm going to post a video about it later. I post a preview about it. I basically start the video on TikTok and I'm like, I'm crying and it's 4 a.m. in Mexico. I'm wearing like a hoodie. That's the one. That is the night I had literally just gotten back. I went salsa dancing. Okay. I went to this place. And let me tell you, the flyer. Okay, so their flyers here, total chaos. I don't know how they read those things. It is like this wallpaper. It is information here, information here, information here, information here. I mean, it's information everywhere, and half the time it's still lacking information that you need. Like, what time does it start? What time does it end? Like, anywho, this one was actually pretty particular, and it said, like, no t-shirts, no tennis shoes. Men need to wear this. Women need to be in a dress and heels. Like, if you come in a dress and but then it was weird because then it was like, if you come in a dress and heels, you get a free drink. Obviously, I'm not turning up. I'm there to salsa dance. And that's also what I love about the atmosphere. People are actually there. I mean, you're working out. That's why I lost 10 pounds the last time that I was here for 3 weeks, because all I did was basically exercise for hours on end. It was extreme cardio. I mean, I will leave, and my hair, I mean, it looks like I got out of the shower. It is disgusting, but it is so much fun. It is so much fun. And so I go to this place, and it's a place that I've never been before because I'm addicted also to new experiences. So I don't like too much to go back to the same place unless I know it's really, really, really good. That's another problem. I started learning to salsa dance in these places, like if you've ever been to Mexico City, like Mamarumba, Babalu, and those places are so cool, so super duper cool. But for me, I don't like the look. I want to be in Mexico. You know what I really want to be? I want to be like in a rancho somewhere. Like, I want to be in a pueblo. I want to be, do we have electricity? That's where I want to be, if I'm honest. So those places are cool. The fancy pants places are cool. The like really chic Mexico City, CDMX is like what they call it for short, like Ciudad de Mexico. So if I say CDMX, that's what I'm talking about. Those places are so cool. Those places are so fun. But let me tell you, last time I was here, I started to find like bailes. So I'm going to just make this bilingual, and I'm just going to try to teach you a little bit of Spanish because my brain is bilingual. So when you go to the bailes, that means like the dances. I started to find bailes that were in like a salon, so like a big ballroom. I'm talking like, I mean, it has to be 500 people there dancing salsa. It's bonkers. It is the most bonkers experience. The other places, you're talking like maybe 100 people. It's a cool place, like kind of smaller, but elevated. Definitely expensive. I mean, I don't drink just because I don't like it, but also like, how do people afford it? I don't even understand. I'm paying like $5 for a regular water. So how are you guys affording alcohol? I don't know. But anywho, I don't really like to go to those places. I used to until I found the salones. Okay. So those are like a little more on the outskirts of the city. let me tell you, those are incredible experiences. But let me tell you what, that video that I posted where I'm like crying at 4 o'clock in the morning is because I had the absolute coolest experience of my life. And honest to goodness, it was something that I never expected. I couldn't have written it down. It was the one with the flyer where they're like, wear a dress, women wear heels. And I'm like, dang, I have like dance tennis shoes. Oh, here they are. They are struggle busting, and they're here because I need to clean them. Look, this is what I normally wear, okay? Salsa dance friendly, because look, you have like the spin spots. They don't really help you spin, I don't think, but they don't have like any traction, so you're just spinning all over town. That's what I normally wear because I'm a tennis shoes girl. I wear Converse everywhere. Like I used to wear heels, and I don't really like it anymore. So when I'm dancing, I love to dance in heels, and I mean in tennis shoes, and I can literally go for hours. Hours. I have started to really, my addiction to salsa is really getting out of hand because I've started to think like I want heels. I want to learn how to dance in heels. I really would love to learn to perform, but that's coming soon. Coming soon if God allows. So I've started to want to have heels. So when I see this flyer, I'm like, dang, this is my opportunity. Okay, I really want to go to this new place. I have no idea where it's at. Let me go to this place, check it out. It'll be my excuse to wear heels. The last couple places that I had gone to, the last couple socials, they were a little bit like elitist there, which is annoying. It's a whole world. Let me tell you, the salsa world is a world in itself. Like, there are rules, there is hierarchy, there are like things that you can and cannot do. Like, I am learning a lot. But what I hate is the hierarchy. Like, the people who know how to dance or the people who are teachers, sometimes they're very kind, but a lot of times if you go to the wrong event, they might market it as a public event, but it's really not. Like, I went to one a couple days ago and it was marketed as a public event, but no one was dancing. Like, they only dance within their cliques, they only dance within their circle, and it ends up being like a really boring time. So then I'll bounce and like go somewhere else and have a good time somewhere else. Because I'm there to dance. Like, I need to exercise. Oh my gosh, if you don't know about salsa dancing, please figure it out. It's so good. But anywho, so I go to this. I'm like, okay, this is my opportunity. I want to go to this place. They are requiring heels. This is my excuse. I need to get dance heels. And what better place? Because I looked at some online, but I'm like, I don't really know what I'm doing. Let me go somewhere where the people, they sell these shoes for a living, and salsa is a world here. So I go to this shoe store. This lady helps me get some shoes. So, oh, you want to see them? I'll show you. Hang on. Ta-da! Here they are. Okay. Let me get my mic in check. Okay. These bad boys. Okay. They don't look tall maybe, but to me, and you're like dancing, first of all, these are like not the lowest. These are the second lowest. And these are wide. So they were explaining to me. Let me try to hold this mic. I'm just going to put them there. They were explaining to me, you see how it's like wider here? And it flares out. It's because these are like more steady. Also, look, this is from one night dancing. Filthy. And you know why? Because the place was filthy, but it was a dream come true. Okay, so I put on my heels. Well, I wear my tennis shoes. Actually, I wear my Converse. And I have my dress or whatever. And I bring my shoes because they're made of, I'm not going to touch them, but they're made with like suede on the bottom, I guess. Or I don't know what they're made of, but they're made of some kind of material that you can't really wear like in the streets, and you shouldn't be stepping on. She was explaining like you don't step on rocks or like uneven surfaces because it'll mess them up. It's like a whole, I'm not joking when it's like a whole, there are rules. So anywho, you wear your normal shoes and then you change when you get to the dance. So I changed when I get there, and I'm like nervous as heck because I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never danced in heels before. Like if I'm in my tennis shoes, let me tell you, I will spin and spin. I did 5 spins the other day. 5 spins. It was so cool. The other day I was dancing with this guy, and he was like, okay, sometimes people are so kind and they'll like try something with you, and if you don't get it and I say like, oh, can you tell me what to do? Then they'll try it again, and then you learn like a new move. I've had 0, well, maybe like 3 salsa lessons. That's it. And they've been really basic. So I learned from dancing with other people. And this guy the other night was like, okay, do this. And then basically it was like a move where he like kneeled on the ground. Okay, he's like one knee on the ground, another knee up, spins me so that I basically like take a quick seat And I mean, it was the coolest move. So cool. And then I did like 5 spin. It was incredible. So in heels, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this. Like, I can barely walk in heels because I haven't in years, literal years. How's this gonna turn out? I'm in a place that I don't know. Like, I'm nervous as heck every time I go to a new place. But 9 times out of 10, it is like the most amazing time, unless it's one of those elitist things. And so walking and looking at the flyer, I'm like, this is going to probably be one of those elitist situations again, but at least I have my heels. At least I'm going to look the part. Like, maybe I will have more opportunities to dance if it turns out to be one of those like frou-frou little situations. When I tell you it was absolutely not a frou-frou situation, I'm like, okay, I'm walking to the place, right? Because I take metro as much as I can, and then I ride back on 9 times out of 10. I'm trying to take the moto back, the motorcycle. It's the most fun form of transportation. And after hours, like the metro doesn't work anymore. So I go there cheap by metro. And then, of course, when you're in the metro, like, you have to walk a little bit or maybe take a bus to get to your destination. And so as I'm walking, I'm almost there. And I'm like, where am I? Like, where is this? I don't feel unsafe, but I'm definitely not like in the bougie parts of town. And that's fine because, like I told you, I want to be where the Mexicans are. Like, it's crazy because here in Mexico City, like in the center-ish area, I'm not super in the center, but in the main like heart, I feel, this is my perception. If I'm wrong, someone can correct me. But my perception is that many people come from the outskirts of the city and work in the center, but they all live on the outskirts. So this is almost like, it's literally like kind of Bougieville here. And I'm not even saying in the Bougieville. That's the craziest part. So I like to be on the more outskirts because oh my gosh, that's a whole nother thing why I'm having like a whole identity crisis. Also have thoughts about how God does things. We're going to get to all of it eventually. So, anywho, I'm walking and I'm like, we're not in Kansas anymore, babes. Like, where are we? And I go to this place. So, first of all, I try to pay to get in. You have to pay at this, like, little window. It's a little tiny window. They don't take card. It's cash only. Of course, for the first time in my life, I don't have any cash. I'm like, dang it. So, I'm trying to find, like, where I can get cash out. It's far away. She's telling me it's going to close at 1 a.m. It's already, like, 11. I'm like, maybe another time. She's like, is it just you? The favor of the Lord said, girl, you can get in for free. So I didn't even have to pay to get in. They let me in. And when I tell you, most people have like the dream of going to Disney World. When I tell you that this was my Disney World on freaking steroids. If you don't know anything about Mexican culture, they will do this thing that's called like a sonidero. And a lot of times it's like they'll put like huge speakers. I mean, I'm talking like you're at like a concert, stacks and stacks of speakers. They'll just put them in the street and you dance in the street. It was like that, but indoors. Okay. First of all, it was not a formal event, despite what the advertisement said. There were people in all kinds of clothes, jeans, pants, normal, casual. And here I am in like the fanciest dress that I have. It's not super fancy, but I mean, it was fun. But that plus the heels, I felt like a lot. I felt like I was overdoing it. And the one place I didn't want to overdo it, but it was fun. Let me tell you, muffle sound that you're hearing, that's how the music sounded. Honest to goodness, I was like literally deaf the next day. The music was so loud. It was the coolest place I have ever been. It was like I was in the middle of a neighborhood. It was like the neighborhood get together somehow. Let me describe it to you this way. And I'm not slamming it because I promise you, it was, for me, a dream come true. I loved it so much. It was so real. It was so authentic. I was honored to be there. And not only was I honored to be there, I was honored because I felt that they actually like welcomed me in at some point. I have never danced so much in my life. Let me describe the place. And I mean this with all the respect in my heart. So I don't mean to insult. I'm just trying to point out the differences of what you would find in the United States and what you would find there. I would go back to that place over and over again. I loved it so much. First of all, no cards. Like, they don't take card. It's cash only. You go in and basically it's like, I mean, I don't even know how to describe the place to you. I'll post a video of it eventually and you can see it's gonna be the one with like basically strobe lights and like these crazy lights. They had like TV set up everywhere and then like a big projector in the back, and then there was like lights going everywhere. But the floor, I mean, it's like an old, just like a simple building. The bathrooms, okay, you gotta walk all the way to the back of the building, and you have to like go around like like you're stepping over like the speakers and the stands that the lights are on and all this stuff. Like, it's not a fancy pants place at all. You get to the bathroom. The bathroom is essentially like behind a wall. There is honestly no sink. Thank God I had hand sanitizer, but there's no sink. The toilets, which I did not use, I didn't need to. I'm not above it. I just didn't need to. The toilets, you look, and so one thing in Mexico, you don't really flush with toilet paper. So you look, and there's like the baskets of the used toilet paper, which, by the way, if you don't bring your own, you can't get it in the stall. You have to go to where they sell like the snacks and the drinks and buy tissues or toilet paper there with your cash that you remembered to bring. They were so kind and helpful to me. I honestly, it was an honor. The whole night was like, I cannot put into words to you how I just know that God sees the desires of my heart. And even if I don't speak them out loud or even know what I want to experience, God knows exactly where to put me to make me happy. And that's all that I know from that night. Let me talk about this bathroom a little bit more. So you go get your toilet paper. You pay for your toilet paper if you didn't bring your own. You go in the bathroom, and then there's like a barrel, you know, like a rain barrel, the kind that like catches the water, like a huge blue barrel. And that barrel is filled with water, and then there's a bucket in it, like a strawberry bucket, or like, you know, it's a bucket. Then there's like a piece of like cardboard, what's that paper called? It's like kind of thicker and colored, and like people make like car wash here signs. It's a piece of paper, construction paper, but bigger, right? And a little thicker. There's a piece of paper like that on the wall that says, please use the water to flush the toilet. So basically what you're supposed to do is go buy your toilet paper from the entrance, use the bathroom, come out of the bathroom, get a bucket of water, pour it down the toilet, put the bucket back, and put your trash in the corner, because I don't think that there were baskets, or maybe they were overflowing. And then you can't wash your hands. And then go hold hands with everybody and salsa dance. No, that part, we need to work on that part. But I did have hand sanitizer, thank goodness, because the last time that I was here for 3 weeks, I danced with this guy and he had sunglasses on, and I thought that was odd, and it was one of my last weeks, and I mean, it was one of my last days. And he had sunglasses on, and I thought that was odd. But everyone has their own style here, so no big deal. It was in one of those like ballroom dancing things. So not super on the outskirts, but not super in the bougie area. I'm like, maybe this is his style. What do I know? I extended my trip by a week because I wanted another week of salsa dancing. And what happened? I got sick. Not only did I get sick, I had pink eye. And I think that guy with the sunglasses had pink eye and gave it to me. Gross. So I am addicted to salsa dancing and hand sanitizer from this point forward. And then especially knowing that there are bathrooms that exist like that, I'm like, what is everybody doing? I guess maybe they probably bring their own hand sanitizer, or I haven't learned that part of the culture yet. I'm not sure. But let me tell you, that was the vibe of the place. When I tell you too that I forget that I don't look like I'm from here. I forget that they call you güera, which means like white girl, but they'll call anybody güera. Like if you're a little bit like not so tan, they'll say like, hey, güera, whatever. I took a picture with someone the other day and I was like, oh my God, I look like a bed sheet. I am very, very, very güera. I had no idea. My goodness. I am. What's that lady, Corey ten Boom? That's a whole nother story. Like God has used that in my life as well. I learned that story when I was back in, maybe elementary school. And I felt like all of the, like, I just very recently, like within the last year, I've started to like really identify with her because she hated certain features about herself, and then God used those features for like a really big purpose. And I won't get into that right now because I'm trying to stay on track about what, I don't know, because I know the story's been all over the place, but basically, I really feel that even though I hate my features and I wish that I was Mexican and I wish that I was brown and oh my gosh, I just love it so much. I have really seen how God has used my appearance to be able to open up conversations and talk to people about him. So I guess I can't complain about it. But a lot of times, honest to goodness, like I just straight up forget that I look so very different. And at that event, when I tell you, when I walked in, I felt like an outsider, and I was like, oh my God, I look like an idiot right now. I look like a tourist. I look like I don't belong here. I'm overdressed. Like, they don't know my heart. They don't know that I am like stepping into what feels like heaven. Okay, they don't know that. And so when you first walk into the salsa scene, like a new place that people don't know you, as a female at least, it's been my experience, you kind of have to like vibe and get close to the dance floor and maybe wait a song, sometimes two, before someone will like actually come ask you to dance. The old men, let me tell you, I love dancing with an oldie because they do not care, and they also dance so good. I love it. Usually they're the first ones that ask you to dance, and then once people see that you know like what you know, then that's when other people of your level or higher level will start to ask you to dance. Oh my goodness, it's so much fun. So that's basically what happened. At some point, okay, I'm in my heels, right, for the first time. I mean, and at some point, like, we're on the dance floor, okay, and it's like wet. Like, I don't know, it's just, it was filthy, but I loved it. I loved every second of it. So there's like the dance floor, and as you you see people dancing, they literally have like camera crew. This event, okay, the sonidero, like it's like the main sonidero group that is like hosting this event. So they have cameras, they have lights, they're filming people dancing. I mean, it is a scene. It is so freaking cool. And like everything is spontaneous. No one's performing. Like you're just there dancing. And if they see that like people are dancing well, they'll go up to them and start filming them. And it's either live stream or they're filming it for social media. I don't know what they're doing with it, but it's really cool experience, especially because it's things that I have watched online. And now I'm like in the place. Like I'm in a place where they're about to be uploading videos. I mean, it's crazy. Anywho, so I'm dancing, I'm having a great time, but fast forward, at some point, I start dancing with like very advanced dancers. And mind you, this is like my first time in heels. And so I'm low key dying, but the adrenaline and the fun that I'm having is keeping me alive. But also I'm not at my super best because I'm in heels. So I'm like, if my current best is a 10 for me, I say that I'm dancing at like a 7 in these heels. Maybe that's generous. I don't know. I felt like I was keeping up. At some point, though, I look, and I don't look because I'm trying to stay focused. The cameras and the lights are on me and my dance partner. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, spin here. Don't mess up. Okay, first of all, that was so cool. But that's not even the part that I want to tell you about. That part for me, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm honored. That was the first moment where I was like, I'm honored. Okay, like I don't feel totally like an outsider anymore. Like I'm honored. At some point, I dance. First of all, the songs, when you go normal salsa dancing, I mean, I've literally only started this summer. I started learning salsa when I came here for 3 weeks in July. End of June, July. Okay. So, and it's November 10th. So it's very new to me. And also back home, there is not a huge salsa culture. It's very small. There's only limited places that you can go, which is also why I had an itch to come back because I need to feel my addiction. So I'm dancing, right? The songs at this place are not like any place that I've ever been. The ballrooms, the fancy pants, CDMX places, the places back home, they're all playing salsa songs, okay? The salsa songs in 5 to 7, maybe a 10-minute song. When I tell you, and I kid you not, and I am not exaggerating, these songs were 30 minutes because it's like a DJ. It's like a DJ, but not the DJ that just plays a song and plays the next. They're like, I don't even know what these songs are or if they're just mixing beats. The songs would never end. I felt bad because I was asking my partner, like, is this the same song? Because sometimes the men are tricky, and if they like dancing with you and I can't hear the difference sometimes in the change of song or depending how the music is, they will sneak in a second dance and you don't realize it, or I don't realize until halfway through, or I look around and I'm like, okay, everybody else has already switched partners, let me switch. In the salsa world, if you dance too many songs with the same person, now no one else is going to ask you to dance because they assume that you have a thing or you're with that person. It's really a buzzkill. I have learned really a lot. There's a lot of rules in the world of salsa. But I dance with these people, and let me tell you, these songs are like 30 minutes. I mean, they're never ending. I mean, I have never danced so much. It was incredible, and they were all like very advanced dancers, but not the ballroom kind, not the fancy pants kind. We're talking street barrio salsa. Like, it was so incredible. I don't even know how to describe it to you. At one point, I have a couple dances with this guy, like an older guy, and he knows how to dance, and I'm having a blast. At one point, I mosey back over because he kind of has to like work the room where you get the same partners over and over. And I've learned, for me to learn, I need to dance with many different people. I don't like to dance with the same people over and over and over. So I'm moseying my way back to this side of the room, and that guy is dancing with like another girl. So when he finishes, he calls me over. Now, mind you, okay, this girl is now dancing with somebody else, and the cameras are there. This man is like, come back. And I'm like, please, not in front of the cameras on purpose. Like, if I'm mid-dance and the cameras come around, like, what am I going to do? Stop dancing? Of course not. But you're asking me to, like, go in front of the camera? Please, this is intimidating. But the cameras are focused on the girl and her partner. No big deal. So I'm like, that's fine. I can be in the background, I guess. I told him, like, right here, are you sure? We start dancing. At some point, I don't know what point, he grabs the other girl, okay? You can Google videos of this. It is incredible. I have only seen it. I have seen it now in person before this night. There are men who have the ability to somehow dance with two women at once, okay? It's like one arm is spinning them this way, the other arm is making the girl turn that way. It's one guy dancing with two girls. It's incredible. I actually have seen people dancing with like 7 people. That was at that little frou place where people, like elitist kind of thing, where they wouldn't let me dance too much with them. But also it was like a little bit performative, and the people in the circle weren't doing as much because one person only has 2 hands to do so much. So really, really the coolest thing to watch is a man dancing salsa with 2 different women. At some point, okay, not only does he pull in this girl, so now he's dancing with 2 women. I'm one of the women. I'm participating in something that I have only seen and been like marveled at online in my life. And now I'm not only in the coolest place on the planet, I'm not only participating in this coolest thing that I've ever seen in my life, but also now the cameras are on me. The cameras are on the 3 of us, and we're dancing. At that point, thank God, I had changed my shoes, but I didn't bring my dance shoes. I had my Converse, and my Converse were like sticking a little bit, so I wasn't at my best. But also, I'm just like living in this moment where I'm like, what in the heck is happening? Where I am dancing one like a 3-person dance, something that I've only seen online, something that I didn't even know how it functions, and somehow I'm participating in it. It was the coolest thing ever. Another thing that was so cool, let me tell you, it is one thing to watch a salsa performance. It is another thing to go to these places and watch how people dance spontaneously. Performances are cool, but those are choreographed dances. When you go into a salsa scene, like this place that I'm describing to you, and you see a woman and she was in like a formal dress, okay, how there were not sweat stains all down her back, I do not know. She's wearing heels like mine. They were a little bit shorter, which I was like, dang, I should have got the shorter heels. This lady not only is she dancing so incredibly that a circle has like formed around her. Everyone's watching her. Of course, the cameras are on her at multiple points throughout the night. There are times, cameras are not, that she is dancing with people. They are like picking her up and her legs are like kicking in the air. I mean, it was bonkers. It was the most, I have never seen something in real life like that with my own eyes. I cannot describe it to you. And the men, by the way, like some of them are literally wearing like formal suits. You guys are doing hardcore cardio for hours and you're wearing suits and fancy pants shoes. I love to look at the shoes. I love the shoes so much. It's incredible. It is like out of a movie. I have never seen the movie Havana Nights. My therapist said I need to watch it, and I probably do, or at least need to Google it. But I imagine it's something like that. I mean, it's the most like, it's like, imagine that you're in like, I mean this with all the respect, but I don't know how else to describe it. Like, not run down, but just not kept up. Okay. It's an old place that's not been kept up or maintained or any improvements made. And then you have these people that are like dressed to the tens, spontaneous kicking legs in the air, being spun around full body. It's wild. It is wild. And then when the people can dance really, really good, like that lady, okay, you have like the circle of people who are watching her, but also the men, and I don't know how it works or like the timing or but they literally almost like tap in, and like these 30-minute songs, like someone will dance, spin around, make her kick her legs. And I'm talking her legs. Like if I'm her partner, like her legs are up here, like her leg, like kicking legs. I mean, bonkers. Those people that can really, really dance. And even if it's not that extreme, there are times, rarely, where like the circle forms and somehow the men will like tap in, almost like, you know, like when you're fighting, like you tap out and then your partner comes in and continues fighting. It's like that, but with dance. So the woman keeps dancing, but the men are like somehow switching during the song. So she's dancing like 5 partners, one song. Not only is that incredible, but you know what's even more incredible from that night is that also happened to me. I don't know what happened. And it was, I don't remember. I think it was before the 2-girl, 1-guy dance. Like at some point, people were swapping in on me. Like someone spun me. I did a spin. I turned around and I have a new partner. And I was like, oh, what? Okay, let me just keep going. I just keep going. The next thing I know, like I see someone else coming. I danced with like 4 or 5 people. It was incredible. The night was incredible. I don't know how to describe it to you. And the only thing that could have made it more incredible, oh my gosh, I forgot about the coolest part. I was going to say, the only thing that could have made it more incredible is if I had cash, because of course, like there were snacks and foods inside, but outside you have like 2 little abuelas, like 2 little grandmas, basically cooking food. I mean, I'm talking hearty food. I'm talking beans and tamales and rice. And if I had cash and I could have eaten while I was there or on my way home, let me tell you. Okay, other bonkers things. I'm there, right? You walk into this ambiance, and like I said, they advertise it if it was like a very high class, very, you know, dressed to the tens, we're not going to let you in if you're not kind of situation. And it wasn't that, which I was grateful for. That's more my vibe. Next time, I'm definitely going a lot more chill and with my dance tennis shoes. But as I'm there, you know, and you see instantly like who's a somebody. And I don't know who's who, and I don't know why somebody feels like a somebody, but you feel vibes and you have eyeballs. So you just use your brain. I see this table and I see this man, and he's, I mean, honestly, if I had to guess, I would say that the man was probably 70, at least, maybe 80 years old. That's another thing that blows my mind. Like at one point, like everyone was doing like not a line dance, but kind of. I mean, it's people of all ages and they have such energy. I'm like, this man is 60 years old and he's jumping as he's dancing. I mean, it's the cutest, in a suit. I have video. I will upload all of it, because not even for you, but for me, because I need to remember like the sequence of what I'm living, because it is just so mind-boggling. But this guy, I see him, and honest to goodness, let's just say he's 75, and if he's younger, I'm sorry, and he'll probably never hear this, but I don't mean to insult him, but the man was old. He was old. He was wearing, though, like the most bright red suit with like a black lapel. I don't remember what pants, but he was dressed up, okay? He's sitting at a table. It's not in front, but he's obviously repping something, because this lady, I'm assuming to be his wife, is also in the same color red dress. Her friend is in the same color red boots. And I'm like, are they famous? Like, what is the situation here? And their table, like, everybody keeps coming up. Like, people want dances with this man. People want dances with the woman. As they're leaving, they're like saying goodbye to him. And I'm like, okay, is he just from the neighborhood, or is he somebody? Like, I don't know. But either way, like, what is this? This is so cool, and I'm intrigued. So me being the chismosa means like gossip, but also means like nosy, I guess. And I'm like, so me being the chismosa that I am, I'm like, I'm going to ask this guy who he is. Like, is he famous? What is happening? But before I get a chance to do that is when I dance like these 3-person dance, the people waiting in the line to dance with me situation. At some point, I'm like so satisfied and I'm tired from these freaking heels. So I change my shoes and I'm like, I'm just going to go home. But I can't go home. I'm addicted to salsa. So at this point, the cameras have kind of stopped, and it's interesting because I recognize, like, after the cameras stopped, a lot of people left. So I don't know if they were like wanting to be seen or shown, but it was nice because then like the dance floor kind of cleared, the place kind of cleared out, honestly. And so I kind of scooted a little closer to where, like, I moved my stuff a little closer to where I had been dancing anyways. And I just happened to sit next to the table of where these people are. And anywho, at some point, someone from the table starts making conversation with me. I asked the guy, like, is that guy famous? Like, who is this guy? And he said, yeah. Next thing I know, somehow I'm in conversation with this red suit guy. And I asked him straight up, I'm like, are you famous? And he's like, in the world of salsa, yes. What? I'm talking to a famous salsero? What? I asked him to say his name. Like, he said his name on camera. I couldn't hear it. I played it for my Uber driver on the way home. He couldn't understand it either. But apparently he's somebody, okay? And man, this story, I have so much more to say, but I need to go to the gym because my trainer's going to get mad at me. Let me try to wrap this up. Basically, the man is famous and he's been in salsa for like 40 years in Mexico City. He's somebody important because someone else that I met was explaining to me who also, that's another thing. Okay, so not only do I get to talk to this famous guy, he asked me to dance with him. Okay, I make friends with the wife. We exchange numbers. Okay, like, what is happening? Then this other guy comes up. He's also dressed like to the tens and also sitting at the table with this red suit guy. He had also been mingling, and I saw him when I had been dancing those like long 30-minute dances, and when like other moments in the night I had noticed him. At this point, when I'm dancing with the older guy, the red suit guy, I see that this guy has come to the table and he's like sitting there. So anywho, he comes up to the table, and as I finish my dance with the red suit guy, now this guy, I also don't know who he is, but it was a similar situation. He's significantly younger, like closer to my age. Everybody's saying goodbye to him, taking pictures with him. Like, who are these people? But now he's asking me to dance. He didn't only ask me to dance once. We danced like 3 times together, and halfway through the last dance, he takes out his phone and asks someone to record. And let me tell you something. In the world of salsa, if somebody's dancing more than one dance with you, it's either because there are no dance partners left and everybody's left and we just want one more dance, or it's because they really like dancing with you. So for this, like, feeling, like, again, I don't know who these people are. I just got the 411 on the red suit guy. This other guy, I'm like, who are you? But you're giving also famous vibe. Like, what is this? you're not only dancing with me, you're asking to dance with me multiple times. And then if somebody asks to video you, that in itself in the salsa world is like a thing. Not so much from my perspective, because, I'm obviously a tourist. Like, I mean, I want to capture the moment. I want to see my own improvement. But if somebody else is like, honestly, I think that's the first time that it's happened to me. And it's this guy who's giving famous vibes. And I'm like, what is this? So anywho, we ended up, now basically me and his other friend, we're all friends now. Okay. But somewhere in the mix that night, I asked him, or like after, I asked him, like, are you famous? Because we hung out again. Oh my gosh. Listen, I need to go. But there is so much more to this story. Listen, long story short, me and the younger famous guy ended up exchanging numbers because I wanted that video that he took. Then he invited me, okay? He invited me to go to this other place that is also a dream of mine. Now, that one I have spoken out loud. That one I'm going to have to tell you about next time because I really need to go to the gym. But let me tell you this. That guy, also apparently famous, and like is becoming a name in the world of salsa, because he said that he had only been like dancing 6 years, and how it's not fair to the guy in the red coat, because at the times of the guy in the red coat, they didn't have things like social media. And if he had social media back then he would have super like surpassed him. But apparently this guy is like somebody because he has social media, and he showed me social media has like a ton of followers. I'm like, what is this? And then he invited me to this sonidero in this place where I will never say the place out loud because I don't want anybody else to go. It's not Mexican. Like, honestly, I feel so honored that I got invited to go to places. And so, long story short, I will tell you more about the outdoor experience that I had that was also really cool. But the point, I guess, of what I'm trying to say is it's so crazy because I've been asking God, like, God, what do you want me to do? And I feel like you're giving me so many things that you need me to accomplish, and I don't know where to start, and I feel overwhelmed, and I don't know, like, what am I even doing? And so I sat down and I started to pray, and I feel like I've been trying to record a podcast since Saturday, Sunday-ish, and because Friday was that night that I just described to you, and I literally got home at like 4 a.m, and I was exhausted, and Saturday my body was totally recuperating, and I felt like I needed to do a podcast in, but I was like, you know what, count this as my Sabbath, like I am gonna rest today. Sunday I'll do it, and I didn't do it Sunday, and I didn't do it yesterday, and now today is Tuesday, and I am such a procrastinator, and so embarrassing because God has given me such beautiful experiences. Like, how can I not serve him and do the things that he's telling me to do just because I don't like it or don't want to do it? And so today I sit down and I feel like I need to record a podcast, and I should have started a lot earlier so I wouldn't be rushing to go to the gym like I'm doing right now. And I'm like, God, can you just speak to me? Like, what? I need direction. What do you want me to do? And all this time I feel in my heart, like, girl, record your podcast. But I'm like, oh, God, I'd rather spend time with you first. And it's bad. It's bad. Like, sometimes I use even spending time with God as an excuse to procrastinate the things that I know he is telling me to do. Anywho, I asked God, I'm like, God, can you please give me direction? Can you please tell me what to do? Can you please tell me where to start? And I crack open my Bible. And of course, it's leading me to passages about like slothfulness and laziness and procrastination and all of these things. And I'm like, got it, God, I understand. Okay, can you speak to me? Show me where you want me to read. Flip to some other random passage. It's the same kind of talk. Flip to some other random passage. It's the same kind of talk. I'm like, okay, God, I'm going to get up right now. I'm going to record this podcast. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. But it's one of those crazy things where, like, you hear all the time where people say, like, oh, God just wants your obedience. And I want to obey and I want to do what God wants me to do. But sometimes I feel like he gives me a lot of free reign. Like, he just said start a podcast. He didn't say what to talk about. He didn't say do it at this time or upload it this many times a week, or like, I just know I'm supposed to be doing it and talking. And so anywho, maybe you're just going to get like a random story about my crazy salsa experiences that, honest to goodness, I could die happy. I swear after Friday, I could literally, I know God has so many plans for me and I'm not going to die anytime soon, but I am satisfied with life at this point after what I lived on Friday. It was the coolest, most underground, but not underground, just like, it was the coolest experience of my life. And I am so happy and so grateful to God that I lived it. And all I guess that I'm trying to say is don't procrastinate. And I know that I've said it 100 times. And at this point, I can't remember what are in the 5 other podcasts that I've recorded that I need to edit or maybe I just need to talk here and let things come out again as they naturally do. But honestly, like if you're serving God and you're really obeying him, he's going to give you the desires of your heart. And I promise you, they might be desires that you didn't even know that you have. Do you think that I ever knew that I wanted to dance one one guy, 2 girls? I never knew that would be something that I would want. I knew I wanted to probably see it in real life, that it would be cool to see in real life. I mean, you're telling me that not only did I get to see it, but I got to live it. I got to do it. I got to do it on camera in the coolest place on the planet for the major sonidero company that puts on those events. You cannot make that up. You cannot make that up. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, this is only a story that God could write, because you cannot plan that. You cannot make it happen. You cannot manifest it, because I didn't even know that was an experience that I would want, or that I needed, or that I would literally flip and be head over heels for. Like, that is something that God only could do. And again, it might not sound like anything to you. It might sound gross and cringy and whatever, unsafe, whatever word a typical American would want to put to it. But I'm telling you right now that God is so good to me, and God cares for me in ways that like I never expected. And he's teaching me so many things. That's another thing too that he's teaching me. He is teaching me how to be loved. Like, man, it's so hard, the dating in 2025. Should I talk about that? I will talk about that. Don't worry. Dating in 2025 is a total freaking nightmare, first of all. If you add the word Christian to it, it's even more impossible. If you add a cultural layer to it, because unfortunately for me, I would say Latino, but if I'm honest, more specifically, I love Mexicans. It is what it is. You add cultural layers to it, it's so complicated. And then even with the word Christian, like, what does that even mean nowadays? Like, everybody calls himself a Christian and it means totally nothing. So to find someone like who has the same understanding, has the same like concept of God and understanding and walk with him, like, my goodness, it's exhausting. Anywho, as I'm waiting for whoever God has for me, I feel like God is also teaching me ways that I should be loved in the way that he loves me. Like, for example, recently, people have started to tell me, like, this has been like a month ago. I have everything written down. But honestly, like maybe like a month or so ago, like people started to tell me like randomly that I'm pretty. I'm like, that's weird. Thank you. I didn't realize. But like, I feel like it's been like not in a weird way, like it has been in the past of my life. It will be from females, which I feel like that's the highest compliment. Just like random people. Or like the other day, like I got flowers and I'm like, and I've gotten more flowers, like random flowers from random places. And I'm like, God has given me flowers. Well, I want to be pursued with flowers. Like, I want someone to tell me that I'm pretty. I want someone to pursue me with flowers. And I want someone to give me experiences and things that I don't have to ask for. I don't have to beg for. And I feel like what I lived on Friday was like God being like, here is something so beautiful for you, something that is going to make your heart so happy, and you don't have to ask for it. You don't have to speak for it. I just know you good enough, and I love you so much. And even if you don't deserve it because you're a freaking procrastinator, like, here is a gift for you because I love you. I have a whole list going of examples like that where I feel like God is teaching me how I should be loved by whoever God has for me. Because the Bible says that what is it? That a man should love his wife as God loves the church. And God is showing me how he loves the body of Christ. He loves me in these ways. He loves me in many other ways. He provides for me. He protects me. Like, there are other deeper ways. And I could talk about that more, but I really got to get ready for the gym. But anywho, just note to myself, stop procrastinating, because if God is this good, when I am lazy and procrastinating and pushing off the things that he is calling me to do that I don't want to do, and there's no excuse that I shouldn't be doing them because they're easy and they're simple and faithful and little and faithful and much. How do I expect for God to give me the things and the desires of my heart that are bigger, the things that I want to do for him, the ways that I do want to work for him? Like, how can he give me that if I can't just sit down and yap for an hour? I'm not ready for it. Ugh, that's a lesson. Let's go to the gym. Okay, anywho, that was a rabbit trail. I'll come back and tie some of these things up in the next episode. And yeah, anywho, Jesus loves you. Oh, if you don't know how to have a relationship with him, you can go to my TikTok, watch a pin video. In the peach shirt, it tells you how to start a relationship with him. He is truly and sincerely the God that will fulfill all of your wildest dreams, your heart's desires that you didn't even know that you have. Just walk with him and don't give up. This has been a 2-year journey, and God is literally like letting me start to see things, and I'm so excited for what he's going to do. And part of me gets nervous because the enemy's a pain in the butt. And like I mentioned, the people who watch, and I know people are doing like witchcraft and bullcrap because I recognize the signs because I've seen it before. But it's not working because God is protecting me. I have so many things to say, but I have to go to the gym. Okay. Jesus loves you. Bye.